In this video, we're going to be working on assessing Excel training needs, and we'll be focusing on steps 7 through 8 in our task sheet. So essentially what we have is our survey software produced this Excel file, and it's pretty messy. There's these column labels in the first column are absolutely meaningless. I have no idea what they mean. And there's 3 labels of column rows, or 3 rows of column labels before we get to the actual survey responses. And so essentially what I want to do is I want to create a new column row that's more meaningful to me. And if I look in the data labels worksheet, if I click on the data labels worksheet, I can see that I've indicated what I want those new label headings to be. So essentially what I want to do is I want to take that first column and name it delete. The second column, name it delete. The third column, name it delete, and we'll see why in a few tasks later on. The fourth column, and name it delete. The fifth column, delete. The sixth column, quality control, right? So essentially what I want to do is go to this working worksheet and create a new row at the top, okay? So how do we create a new row? Well, what we want to do is we want to click the row number that we want to move down and replace with a new row. So I'm going to click on this row number 1. And when I click on it, it highlights the entire row. And then I'm going to right click on the number 1 for the whole row. And it gives me some options, one of those options being insert. When I click on insert, it's going to insert an entire row and shift all of the data down 1 row. That's exactly what I want to do for step 7. Step 8 is to add the new label variable names to this row. So basically I want to add delete all the way down. I want this one over here called quality control. I could do this by hand by just clicking data labels, finding the next label, and then going back and calling it delete. But that would take way too long. It would be way too inefficient, especially if I had a data set with hundreds or even thousands of rows. So I need a quick way to take this data that's up and down, right? That's from row 2 all the way down to row 33 and paste it sideways along the top column. Unfortunately, there's something that allows us to easily do that. It's in the paste tools and it's called transpose. So let's see how that works. The first thing I need to do is I need to copy the labels that I want to transpose or switch from up and down to sideways. And the way that I copy this column here is I can grab my mouse and I can just scroll down and highlight everything one by one, right? But that's not going to work when I have incredibly large data sets. So I need that shortcut. Now, there was a previous resource that showed you a shortcut for highlighting and jumping, and that's what I want to do. On a PC, I would do that by holding down the Shift key and the Control key and then pressing down. And that's going to jump all the way to the bottom of the list, and it's going to highlight everything in between. I believe on a Mac, it's Apple Command and down, but yeah, the same basic shortcut, right? So here I go to the top value that I want to copy. I'm going to hold Shift, Control, and press the down arrow. It copies all the way down to the bottom, or selects all the way down to the bottom. And now I'm going to copy this by using Control C or Command C on a Mac, right? Once I copy this, I can see that this little moving bar is going around this column that's now copied, which tells me that Excel is holding this information in working memory and ready for me to paste it wherever I want, right? So now I can go to the working sheet. Now, if I were to just go to the working sheet and put my, select the cell A1 right at the top, if I were to just paste, it would paste everything up and down. And that's not good because I want these going sideways across the top. So I don't want to paste. What I want to do is I want to copy, right? Copy, and then go to my working sheet, go where I want it to start the paste. And if I click on this paste special tools, I can see that there's all different types of pastes. And one of them has this called transpose. You can see the arrow going down and aside, right? Transpose basically tells Excel if everything's running up and down, when I paste it, turn it sideways. And if I copied a group that's sideways, when I paste it, turn it up and down, right? So by clicking this transpose button, you could see that I automated exactly what I needed to do. I took these data labels from this column and I pasted them along this row. Now I can see all the way down the line, I can see that I now have data headings that tell me exactly what each of these columns represent in terms of data. This column here represents how everybody scored on the question about whether or not they feel comfortable filtering columns in Excel. This column here shows how everybody scored on the question related to whether or not people feel comfortable converting text to columns. Okay, so go ahead and save your data set here, and you are now ready to move on to the next set of tasks.